Hi guys, my name is Ola and I'm a Bitcoin believer. I came to Kyiv with this crazy nonsense idea to travel and pay only with Bitcoin. In my borderless show, you will see
the stunning beauty of Kyiv and how I explored it fiat-free.
Thank you so much.
My interview with the Deputy Minister of Digital Transformation about taxes and crypto regulation.
All the things not prohibited are allowed.
And the famous crypto expert.
So the Bitcoin will stay. Ukraine is the cool country.
Prices for real estate in Ukraine and conditions for foreigners. I visited every single business that accepts Bitcoin, and it was absolutely adventurous, exciting, and purely crazy.
I was really worried about how I'm going to get from the airport to the city center, but in Kyiv this is easily solved. There is a renting service that accepts Bitcoin.
Right, so this is a legendary moment for me. I'm going to pay for a car with Bitcoin. I have here a QR code. Yes, I'm going to scan it. Thank you so much.
That's it? No, I didn't rent Tesla. My car is that one. This car cost me 108,000 satoshis a day.
1 Bitcoin equals 100 million sats. Just like cents, sat or satoshi is a smaller unit that people can use in daily life. Ukraine has a continental climate with cold snowy winters and warm summers. The best time to visit is from May to September. Just make sure to take your umbrella with you.
I think if you learn how to drive in Ukraine, you basically can drive anywhere in the world, because as messed up as it is here, I mean, I guess. Maybe somewhere in India it can. I'm sure it's worse in India, really. But this is so bad.
According to the legend, the city was founded in the 5th century by 3 brothers, Ki, Shek, and Hori, and their sister Libby. Kyiv is named after Ki, the eldest brother. The unique and extremely diverse architecture of Kyiv has been transforming for 14 centuries. The buildings and streets combine more than 30 different architectural styles, which accurately reflect the stages of the city's formation. My foreign friends who visited Ukraine are mostly interested in the Soviet architecture. The visual style of architecture is often tied to a political power who wants us to see and feel the world in a certain way. A new political ideology requires a new aesthetic to go with it. This was the claim by Soviet architects and designers that worked to change the buildings and constructions of the USSR. Soviet regime was following a common style across a quite diverse architecture. That was an integral part in promoting the totalitarian ideology that disregarded local cultures, envisioning a unified, homogeneous society.
This is the main square of Kyiv, Maydan.
The square received its name in 1991 in the aftermath of the Declaration of Independence of Ukraine. Maydan from Ukrainian means an open space. The square is absolutely gorgeous and one of the most famous locations in Kyiv. But for me, Maydan is something different. After the collapse of the Soviet Union that happened 30 years ago, in the attempt to fight corruption and seeking better life, Ukraine underwent 2 revolutions. the Orange Revolution and the Revolution of Dignity. And Maydan has always been the center of public political activity. For me personally, Maydan is a place where human desire for freedom is engraved in every piece, in every little stone of it, literally with blood. This place manifests at the same time people's courage, desperation, fear, unity, love, and hope. Here's a photo of my dad at the Orange Revolution. In poor health, he went 500 kilometers to Kyiv to stand up for a change. When his friends asked why he was doing it, his response was, "I want my kids to live better." He's no longer alive, but his desire for freedom is living within me. But I'm different. I'm choosing an even more peaceful protest. I'm buying Bitcoin. When it comes to holding Bitcoin in your Bitcoin wallet, it is all okay. But when you try to bring it into real market and utilize for business transactions, things get a little complicated. The income tax, government regulations come into play and it limits the use of it. While some countries follow a strict anti-Bitcoin policy, there are others who started to adopt the system and they are opening their arms to welcome new opportunities. To find out what is happening in Ukraine, we are going to interview the Deputy Minister of Digital Transformation, Alexandr Bornyakov. And right now, there is no law, but there is something going around.
In late 2019, there was a law. It was basically anti-money laundering law. And this was the first time when in the history of Ukraine where definition of cryptocurrencies appeared in official papers. So, but not in terms of explaining what it is, nature and the rights, but just about the thing that if it's been using by individuals or companies as a payment, it should be under financial monitoring. It gave us like a head start that if we have this definition and recognition, we need to create rules explaining what it is and how to treat it. Because now we just have restrictions. We started to work on draft of we call it a virtual assets law. It's just basic law explaining the nature of cryptocurrencies, and not just cryptocurrencies. We call it virtual assets because we also included gaming assets. We also included tokenization processes. So it's not just about cryptocurrencies. It's bigger than that. And it took us almost a year to come up with the draft that passed the first hearing in Parliament. So now we're very close to second hearing. After that, in a couple of months, I think before the end of the summer, we should have this.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You know, the greatest thing about Bitcoin, it's universal acceptability. You can freely travel around the world and hold the same exchange value. Здравствуйте. Скажите, пожалуйста, вы не принимаете биткоины случайно?
Увы.
Вы не принимаете биткоины? Нет? А не знаете, где принимают? Без понятия. Здравствуйте. Я очень хочу кушать, но у меня только биткоины. Вы не принимаете? Мне деньги не надо. Мне просто нужно... Это такой, знаете, как челлендж. Вадим, прикинь. Он спросил, how much?
No more episode in short dresses, okay?
You cannot even pay without fiat. Вы не принимаете биткоины? Там даже терминала нет. Какие биткоины, Вадим, какие биткоины? It seems that today I will be without coffee, probably without food. But I've always wanted to try this intermittent fasting. Okay, once more because I'm...
Honestly, I spent weeks looking for places that accept Bitcoin. And it is impossible to eat in Kyiv and pay with Bitcoin. You're probably thinking that Bitcoin has failed as peer-to-peer electronic cash system, but it's not. It takes time for any innovative technology to develop. Let's just look at the internet. It took decades for it to transform into what we have now. The Lightning Network and other second-layer solutions will come into play. Okay, let me stop and talk about Lightning. The Lightning Network is being built on top of the Bitcoin blockchain. It consists of the second-layer protocol. The process of setting up a new channel involves an on-chain transaction, but once created, it allows unlimited amount of transactions without the global consensus. These transactions can be executed through smart contracts at much higher speed and lower fees. I'm really fascinated by this solution, so I was asking people about it. What is your opinion on the Lightning Network or the Stripe?
It's cool, but it still doesn't work properly, so we'll see what will happen with that.
Sorry, I forgot to introduce my guest.
I'm a Bitcoin maximalist.
Mychael Chobanyan is the founder of the first Bitcoin agency in Eastern Europe. He also founded the Association Blockchain Ukraine and co-founded Bitcoin Foundation Ukraine. I could go on with this list, but I really want you to listen to this absolutely brilliant mind. So almost every crypto initiative that have been happening in Ukraine, you have been a part of it. If you were able to turn the time back, how would you do this time? Is there something, some fields you don't want to touch, or you would pay more attention to education, or what is your opinion about building community? I know that thanks to you, we do have great crypto community in Ukraine, and of course there is always more things to do, but in your opinion, what would it be?
I guess the only thing that it could have improved would be speed of the adoption. And I would definitely spend more time on education. Because unfortunately, because we were busy with the business or with the true crypto anarchist way of life, let's call it that way, and we didn't prepare any material for the new people that join in. So this niche partly was taken over by scammers and fraudsters, unfortunately, because there was a vacuum. So if I would do anything again in imaginary world or time, I would definitely spend more time on education and giving the new people just the information. Yeah, I'll just go just information. I won't just idealize it, but yeah. Instead of buying some shit coins or scam coins, it's better to spend time learning what is blockchain and Bitcoin.
Are you thinking to move to Ukraine yet? No worries, I got you covered here. I visited a real estate expert, Natalya Lukyanova, and we discussed real estate situation in Ukraine, taxes, and returns on investments.
Currently, Ukraine offers once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for foreign investors because due to historically low prices connected with the events of 2014, our revolution, and also with COVID-19. The situation on the market is the following, that the prices growing now gradually, and during the last year, the prices went up around 20% in the prime city center. So it's very good dynamic. There is constant demand from domestic and foreign investors. We have a classical example of a market recovery, and it's a unique situation in the whole European continent. It's obvious. We have the highest returns on investment when you buy and rent. You can count on 16% return on investment. Yeah, there is no capital in the US or in Europe which can provide this high returns on investment. So even during the lockdowns, our investors were able to get 8-9% returns. And now I will show you the units, the projects we realized from A to Z for our investors from all over the world. In this building we have investors from Ireland, from Switzerland, from Germany, local investors as well. So, all right, let's see.
By the way, I'm going to stay here for the night. This is a room of Theater Boutique Apart Hotel. Please remember this name, as this is the only hotel that accepts Bitcoin in Kyiv. Thousands of tourists visit Ukraine every year. And they are not coming to see the city and explore the life here. They purposely go to one place, the place that is not suitable for living anymore. The place that has no future. And that is Chernobyl. The town Pripyat was built in 1970, especially to maintain a nuclear power station. It is situated 2 kilometers from the station. At the moment of catastrophe, 50,000 people lived there. The average age was 26 years. The whole town of Pripyat was evacuated within 3 hours. However, as you can imagine, most would never return to their homes. When the catastrophe happened, the Soviet officials didn't tell anything to the people. In Pripyat, life continued as usual for almost a day. Aside from the trucks cleaning the streets with foam, there were initially few signs of the disaster of such magnitude unfolding just miles away. Today, the population of Pripyat is 0. Because of the radiation, the town is not suitable for living. Not following the safety rules led to this tragedy, and people in Pripyat lost everything. Don't make the same mistake. Keep your Bitcoin in a cold wallet. I was lucky to find a tour that accepts Bitcoin. There are 2 options. You can go with a tourist group or on a private tour. I chose a private tour as I wanted to dive into the atmosphere of this completely tragic event. And I didn't want anybody to disturb me. I wanted to do it alone.
За счет того, что этот объект был совершенно секретный, порождало такие мифы, легенды. Вот люди говорили, что это зомбирующий радар для управления волей советского народа. Говорили, что это выжигатель мозгов, чтобы вот в определенный час X с помощью радиоволн превратить враждебных европейцев в дружески настроенных зомби. В Европе говорили, что это климатическое оружие, которое способствовало вызову землетрясений, ураганов, дождя и прочих бедствий. А американцы даже с самого начала в газетах своих писали, что Советский Союз стоит на пороге открытия новых систем вооружения, которые позади составят все эти ракеты и прочие боеголовки.
This is a top secret Soviet object, Duga. Chernobyl is a place where the human was thrown out by its own creation. It was the biggest nuclear accident in the world. In this exclusion zone, it feels like the nature is trying to cover it up, to cover its ugliness and move on. And what is the modern time creation that we should pay attention to now, before it's too late? Is it artificial intelligence? Is it global warming? Centralization? I will leave you with the thoughts while I'm gonna get finally some lunch. Oh, finally food. I haven't eaten 2 days, so it smells so good. Дякую. It's going to be my first food in 2 days, so let's just eat. Time to go to some other places that accept Bitcoin in Kyiv.
This is not Cybertruck, but you can rent this bit for Bitcoin. But I can rent one here. Сейчас я соберусь, мы с вами будем подождать. I know that's not a Cybertruck, but this is much better. Нет, плохо, черт возьми. This is not quite Cybertruck, but you can rent this bit for Bitcoin. But you can rent this beast out. Hey, Elon Musk, check this out.
Oh my goodness. Let's go!
Что у вас тут пилюки столько?
Давайте, да, мы...
Чого ви не говорили? Чого я туди пёрся? Выжимайте маленький. Черная кнопочка.
Вот это?
Рядом.
Вот это.
Да? Ап. Ап.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Оля.
Андрей.
Очень приятно.
Очень приятно. Я вас приветствую на ССК «Булат», спортивно-стрелковый комплекс. Сегодня мы с вами сделаем такую программу. Glock 17 Австрия, М4 Соединенные Штаты карабин и добрый старый безотказный автомат Калашникова 47. Первое. Наушники. Одеваем очки для защиты ваших глаз. Все делаем по моей команде. По моей команде стоп, огонь и так далее. Да, если готовы, можно стрелять.
Ребята, я знаю, это ваше самое любимое оружие. Ой, sorry. I know that this is one of your favorite weapons, and that's why I decided to try it for you. And let's see. I've tried it before. I did it once in my life in Abkhazia. I was shooting there. It was kind of wild, not like here, not so organized. But I'm excited to try, and I hope you like what you see.
Патроны на английском bullets.
Bullets, да, это знаю.
Да. А, знаете, да?
Угу.
Решил помнить.
Alright, so let's see how was my shooting today. Bitcoin and guns are very similar in regards of freedom. Bitcoin is self-defense against financial aggression, and guns are self-defense against physical aggression. Neither Bitcoin nor guns rely on third parties. You have the burden and advantage to use these tools yourself. And so let's see how I did today. That was AK-47, and that's me. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't make it to the target. That was the instructor, but maybe next time.
Next time we'll be in El Salvador, the first country in the world to recognize Bitcoin as legal tender. Subscribe to my channel and you will not miss it.